My fiancé said all the right things about accepting my sister with special needs, but yesterday he treated her like she was embarrassing, and it broke my heart in ways I didn't expect. Posted by you/mermaid4life96. Would like to know if I'm being overdramatic or overreacting. I'm 29 years old and my fiancé is also 29. We've known each other since 2015 because he attends the same religious church as me. We started dating in 2022, and he proposed to me in February of this year. We have plans to get married in October. He's an only child, and I have one little sister who has some special needs. With me being the only sibling to my little sister, who is 19, if something were to happen to my parents and when they can no longer care for her, she'll be living with me. She's not severely disabled. She has Down syndrome and a low IQ. She's very independent, though. She can walk, talk, eat, shop, and do a lot of life skills on her own with minimal assistance. She's just very vulnerable and isn't aware of safety. My fiancé is fully aware of the circumstances regarding our future and has accepted her living with us. It becomes a topic a lot since we're also considering having our own kids. So not all of the time, but sometimes when my fiancé and I go out, I include my sister. I do respite for my sister, and I get paid to do respite for her. Again, my fiancé has always been accepting of me including her when we hang out. We went out yesterday, and I included my sister. My whole night felt ruined because of him. We went out to eat, and when my sister was trying to order, he kept rushing her when she was stuttering a bit. I didn't say anything due to not wanting to make a scene. We went to the mall next to shop at my sister's and my favorite store. My fiancé stayed out of the store, which was fine because this store is aimed towards women. When we got done shopping and my little sister was showing him what she got, he didn't say anything and didn't even show any interest. I confronted him a bit, and he made a rude remark, saying, "God forbid me not caring about your sister's fragrances." Our last stop was Target. I had to get some things, and I had my sister help with scanning items. He seemed annoyed and told me, "She needs to speed things up because this is awkward." Mind you, there wasn't even a line, and multiple self-checkouts were open. When he dropped me off at home yesterday, I didn't even say anything. As much as I want us to grow together, I can't be with someone who belittles my sister. Do I have the right to be upset? Top/relevant comments. Commenter. I can empathize with both of you here. I had a niece with special needs, and it can be a lot. So I can't blame anyone for not being ready to have that in their life, but it's important for him to respectfully say, "I'm sorry, I'm not ready for that," instead of lying to you to keep his romantic access, to put it overly politely. Huge red flag. Try to work it out with him if you want, but for the sake of the kids, don't have this man's kids. Being a parent requires way more patience than he's shown he's capable of, and you just know if one of them is disabled, he'll blame you and your family's genes. Ops response. His mother actually asked my parents about our gene pool when we went out with his parents one time, but said afterward that she would love her grandchild regardless. So I just let that one go. Commenter 2. I'm confused about what was awkward at Target, her in general? Her speed while checking items or a lack thereof? Either way, I'd be offended and feel protective of her because I can't see his perspective about either being valid. I'm so sorry he was mean to you and toward her. The term red flag exists for this reason. Continue the engagement, but be very aware of what and how he says things. If you continue to see red flags, make the hard choice sooner than later. Ops response. I was having her scan items because it's a goal she works on since she gets state services for her intellectual disability. We had a full cart, and it was taking a little longer than usual to finish because she would accidentally scan something twice. So the staff was kind of hanging close around us in case we needed assistance. I think he low-key feels embarrassed just by her presence and feels like we're being stared at. Commenter 3. I think things are a bit more worrisome than you're allowing yourself to believe. He is treating your sister as a nuisance. He's not low-key embarrassed, he is outright ashamed to be seen in public with your sister. His behavior is rude, belittling, and dismissive. I currently work in retail and often oversee the self-checkout machines. If he's getting upset because someone learning to use the machine is slower than someone who already knows how, then he lacks both patience and empathy. I've watched many people come through those machines. Many times, we have to fix an accidentally double-scanned item, a barcode that rings up wrong, or other little mishaps. The way people react in those situations is very telling. It's a tiny stress moment, but it reveals a lot about their character. Your fiancé is currently showing very poor character. If he has this kind of attitude over something as small as an oops, imagine his reaction to more serious problems. Of course, there are always people who are just having a bad day and overreact, but all you did was take your sister out for the day. That shouldn't qualify as a bad day for any decent person. This calls for a very in-depth conversation, at the very least. You need to get to the bottom of what he truly thinks and believes about you, your sister, and your family. His mother's comment about your gene pool already hints that he's been raised to devalue people with any form of disability. If he's actively trying to unlearn that conditioning, great, but he clearly has a long way to go. If he's just trying to tolerate it until the wedding, his mask is slipping. And if that's the case, your sister deserves far better than to be treated like some kind of burden he has to deal with in order to be with you. She's a human being with her own dignity and deserves to be treated with respect. I hope you get clarity on this soon. Update 1 week later. I posted on here a few days ago regarding my fiancé and my special needs little sister. Some people wanted an update. After posting about it, reading most of the comments, and doing some deep thinking, I decided to cut ties with him last Sunday. It was one of the hardest things I've had to do because we had our future planned out, and he was my first relationship. Family will always come first for me, and I'm not going to be with someone who is an ableist, especially when he and I could end up having a disabled child someday, as muscular dystrophy runs in my family. As for my future, I'm a pediatric RN, so I'm going to keep focusing on my career. I have a savings account set up, so I'm planning on applying for an apartment very soon. I'm also going on a Bahamian cruise in October that was supposed to be our honeymoon, but I'll be going with my best friend instead, so I'm ecstatic about that. I'm going to keep living my life as best as I can and not dwell on a relationship that clearly wasn't meant to be. To the few people who made comments like I'm just going to end up single because no one wants the package that I come with, just know that I see the ableism in you, and you might want to humble yourselves, because anyone can become disabled. Respectfully. /relevant comments. Commenter. Good for you. My daughter is autistic and requires a lot of patience and understanding. I'd lose my mind if someone I knew treated her badly because of her extra needs. So, how did he take it? I'm really curious to know. Op's response. It went pretty sour, but I expected it because he has a pretty short temper, which is crazy to admit, considering we're both part of the LDS Church. A little context: before officially breaking up, we went out on Saturday because I really wanted to get to the root of the problem, why he was so disgusted by my sister. He started gaslighting me and making it seem like it was my issue. That's when I knew it wasn't going to work. On Sunday, I had him come over to my house and told him we were done. He started crying and apologizing, then quickly turned into a hothead and demanded the ring back and everything he ever bought for me. Crazy, right? Mind you, this happened at my parents' house, where I'm currently living. They were already aware of his behavior. When he demanded everything back and refused to leave my bedroom, I just texted my mom for help. It was the first time he showed genuine rage toward me, and I didn't want to risk getting physically hurt. My dad, who is a retired cop, came up and told him to leave. Commenter 2. Well, to be fair, if he proposed to you, you should give him back his ring? Op's response. The ring I absolutely did give back. But clothes that I own and have worn multiple times, car keys that he insisted on replacing when I lost mine in the past, and other petty things like that, I refused to just give back. Commenter 3. Being single forever isn't a bad thing. It means you can come and go as you please, you don't have to share the blankets, and you can keep the temperature where you want it. It makes me think of a poster here who came out as a lesbian, and her mom's reply? Who will open jars for you? That was literally the only reason her mom could think of why you'd want a man around, Lamau. So make sure you keep your grip strength up so you can open your own jars. And make sure to thank your sister for exposing his ugly colors before you got married to him. Let her know she is the hero here.